Top 5 mistakes that is hindering your progress that you should stop doing today. We're gonna go over it. Let's go. Mistake number 5, swapping exercises too frequently. So when it comes down to building muscle, and honestly, almost any modality when it comes to training, it is gonna be progressive overload. That's gonna be the key for results, right? So if you're looking to build muscle consistently, you wanna stick to specific exercises consistently. So a progressive overload is when you're consistently adding load, you're increasing the amount of volume, the rest times in between each sets. There's multiple ways to go about it, but for most people, it's gonna be adding load over time. So if I start off with 30s, I'm gonna wanna build up to 40s, and 50s, and 60s, right? You're gonna wanna get stronger. So stick to the same exercises. Don't swap things out too frequently. Once you start to plateau, definitely change things up.
Meanwhile,
Mistake number 4, neglecting proper form and alignment. Now, for most people, they're not actually intentionally doing bad form, but when it comes to adding as much size as possible, form and alignment is key, because when you're doing bench press and you want to actually use your chest fibers, you want to make sure you're aligned with that. You're not performing exercises where you're going to get injured, and that's going to hinder your progress. Make sure that every rep is quality, like you're properly aligned with the muscle fibers. You can actually feel the muscles working. That's a good indicator that you have proper form, and then adding as much load as possible. Those two factors together is what's going to give some best results. Mistake number 3, overtraining. Now, I know for a fact that most people, they love going to the gym, and for some people it's therapy. For some people, they go really hard as hell, and I'm all about that. But at the end of the day, if you're looking to get results, you need to recover from every training session that you do, right? So if you're not allowing your body to recover from the training sessions that you're doing, you're honestly holding yourself back. If anything, you're making it worse, right? So make sure that you set out recovery days, you're resting in between each training session, or at the very least, you have a strategic plan that makes sense and you can recover from and constantly progress. Mistake number 2, and that is not training close to failures. Main key when it comes to hypertrophy is training pretty close to failure. It is actually pretty well known and evident that the last 5 reps that you do in a given set, and if those 5 reps are within your limit, so if you were doing a set of 10 and the 10th rep is absolutely the last rep that you had in the tank, those last 5 reps are where the stimulus is occurring. So if you're not within those last 5 reps of where your true limit is, you're not actually stimulating hypertrophy, or at the very least, you're not training it very effectively, right? So if you want the best results, make sure that you have proper form first, right? Then secondly, train pretty fucking hard. You should be getting very close to failure. If the 10th rep felt as easy as the first rep, you probably could go a little bit heavier, or you could continue doing more reps. If you like the content so far and it's helping you out, giving you some value, make sure you like this YouTube video. The number 1 mistake is not tracking your lifts. So when people come into the gym, honestly, I was a victim of it myself. You know, there was a certain point where I'm just in the gym and I don't even have a program. I'm just coming in here to get a workout. And that's fine, but at a certain point, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for, right? So the main key when it comes to building muscle is training close to failure and progressive overload, right? So there's different ways to progress. There's progression models. I would say a really good one to use, especially within your first 2 years of training, is a dynamic double progression model. And what that is when you have a rep range. So instead of you just sticking to 6 reps or 8 reps or 10 reps, find a rep range. So for example, if I'm doing bench press, I'm gonna do 8 to 10 reps, and let's say I wanna keep 1 rep in the tank. If I do 45 pounds of 8 reps one session, the next session I'm gonna aim to go 45 pounds for 9 reps, then until 10. Once I get to 10 for 2 good sets, I know for a fact I can add weight, right? In the beginning, you're gonna be able to add weight pretty quickly. Then once you get to a point where it's pretty hard for you to add weight, that's where I would add the rep ranges, and that's where I would follow that model. So if you set out a structured program and you're tracking out your lifts, every time I come here, I'm writing down, okay, on bench press, I did 45 for 8. Next time I'm gonna intentionally try to get for 9. Next time I'm gonna try to get for 10. And you tracking those numbers over time is gonna give you, number 1, confidence. Number 2 is gonna get you results. Because now you know for a fact you're checking off the boxes. You're doing everything you're supposed to do when it comes to building muscle, right? So that's the number 1 mistake. A lot of people just don't really track what they're doing. If you're looking for the best results, I recommend tracking your lifts, progress, and do what you gotta do. There's multiple apps out there. I know Hypertrophy Coach from Joe Bennett. He actually has a pretty good app where you can track your lift on there. There's a multiple stuff that you could use, you can find online when it comes to tracking. The most convenient way is just go on notes. Just go on notes, write out the date that you're working out, and write out what you did that day, right? So as you're working out, in between your rest times, you can note down, I did this for this. If you want to get the best results, make sure you are avoiding these 5 mistakes. I see it all the time. It's very common, and it's something that most people are unaware of. So now that you're aware, make sure you don't fall into that category. So did you guys agree with the 5 mistakes? Did I miss out on anything? If I did, comment down below. Let me know. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts. If you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe.